drawn towards gate number 2, and they're sent on their way. Not a bad beginning. Uncle Tommy's already being asked to get in touch with the leaders, and it's distinguished. Here's Captain's Daughter, the filly. Eddie Sweat between them. Always Elders near the rail. Aldrich with a good position. Uncle Tommy and Black Jaguar, they're only 4 lengths off the leader as they move towards that 1,000-metre area. And it's distinguished just the leader. Captain's Daughter with the green blinkers on the outside. Between the two of them, the white sleeves of Eddie Sweat. Always Els near the rail. Aldrich's in the pink. Black Jaguar and Uncle Tommy's the trailer near the rail, but only 5 lengths off the lead. And the filly Captain's Daughter, making use of that lightweight, goes on by 1 length. Distinguished Racer second. Eddie Sweat in third position. Then Always El behind that Aldrich. Black Jaguar and Uncle Tommy, they're about 7 lengths off the leader. Captain's Daughter and Distinguished fights right back. Then comes Eddie Sweat down the inside. Always El Aldrich. Black Jaguar comes out for a run. Uncle Tommy comes in, and it's Distinguished to hit the front. Eddie Sweat on the outside. Captain's Daughter and Uncle Tommy starts to warm up now. Distinguished Captain's Daughter, and here comes Uncle Tommy, and Uncle Tommy comes forward to tackle Eddie Sweat. Uncle Tommy, Captain's Daughter the outside, but Uncle Tommy's going to win it. Uncle Tommy, Captain's Daughter second. Third will go to Eddie Sweat, and then came Distinguished. Well, number 1, Uncle Tommy, its first 2 races, side by Kahal. And this one for Wyoming, Marco van Rensburg. He doesn't come to these parts of the world often. And Uncle Tommy is victorious now. A 12-time winner, goes on the poly, came from off the pace. But I really liked what Marco did at the start. He got off to take that weight off the back, and he milled it around. And Uncle Tommy comes from the tail of the field and wins 3 parts of a length. And is 250 a win. The tote favourite ends up number 7, which runs second, and that's Captain's Daughter. Eddie Sweat runs into third. Distinguished, that finishes in the 4th position. And then came Aldrich. Black Jaguars further back in the running. And then came Always El. We'll take a look at the head on the winners. 2 off the left-hand side, and Uncle Tommy, as I say, by Kahal. And this one for Hassan Adams, bred by Summerhill Stud. The stick in the left hand, and the big gelding by Kahal comes forward to tackle Captain's Daughter, who fights back and goes on to score by about 3 parts of a length. So Uncle Tommy, as I say, the 12th career win from 51 outings until the running of the 3rd race. Will start off our pick 6. Back to the studio.
Well, Uncle Tommy has just been a great horse to own. Well done to owner Hassan Adams, notching up his 12th career win from 51 runs, taking his earnings close to 1.4 million. And of course, credit must also be given to the trainer. Waho Mowing is having a fantastic run with his horses. Gauteng, KZN, they're all looking bright and they're looking good. And this horse, while compliments to you firstly, was carrying a big weight, but I mentioned in that preview, if he runs to his sand rating, he should win.
Yeah, obviously he loves the sand, this horse. He's a different division, different horse on the sand. Obviously the poly, you don't know how they're going to react to it, but I'm just glad he's gutsy. I'm so proud of him. He comes to racing, he doesn't know he's 7 years old, and he just runs and he enjoys it.
You brought Marco down today in particular for your stable, and he's given this horse an absolute peach of a ride because the pace was always going to be on and he was going to be outpaced.
Yeah, Marco obviously does ride a lot of horses for me in Joburg, and he says, please boss, give me a turn also. But I like to give everyone a chance, all the guys are working hard for me, all the jockeys. But the biggest thanks must go to Mr. Adams. I'm very grateful for the support he's giving me. I do appreciate it, and basically all my owners. And I'd also like to thank Beth, and Bridget. He's an old horse. He's got a lot of little muscle ailments, and they sort of always condition him and help him along too.
Well, before you leave us, you're going to have to try and help us along the way. A stable to follow, no doubt about that. You got some really nice horses later on. And maybe just to refresh your memory, if you can have a look there, horses like Noble Journey, Roman Rock, Queen Eliza, Blue Bay Glade, Dravidian, Vitruvian Man, Lezar.
There's only one thing I can say. We're here to win today.
Thanks for that.
Thanks.
Short and sweet. Include all horses in the exotics from the Waiho Mowing Yard. A gentleman that's also getting the chances and taking them with both hands is young Marco van Rensburg. Marco, really nice to have you in town, and nice that Waiho's giving you a chance in KZN.
Yeah, I've got to thank Waiho. He said to me a couple of months ago, he said, listen, start riding for me, do a bit of work. When I'm in Durban, I need you to come up for me there also. So, you know what, he's given me the confidence, he's given me he showed the faith in me. So I've got to just say thanks to him and to all the owners for all the support,
Craig complimented you when you were behind the starting stalls. He said this horse got a big weight and you decided to jump off him and walk him around, just relaxing him behind the starting stalls.
Yeah, knowing the horse, I knew he's a horse that needs to be woken up. So I trotted him to the start and I made sure he's quite warmed up when I got there. And when I got there, I said, I've got to get off his back. To 61, I've got to give that lad here about 12 kilos or something,
Sure.
So you got to give him all the chance that you can. And it helped, it worked, and he won a good race,
You've ridden an absolute pearler now. It's your first time on this poly track, and how you found the surface?
No, the surface is very nice. It's firm, it's even, which is very important. And you know what? You got to compliment the racecourse. You got to compliment the track managers. They've done a real good job with the track.
You always seem to have those front horses within your grasp when you turn into the straight.
Listen, I thought he was going to have a lot less speed in the race, but when he came out and I shook him up a little bit, he gave me the speed I needed, and they weren't getting away from me. They didn't go as fast as I thought they would go, and at the end of the day, in the straight, they didn't make it hard for me. They didn't make me carry my weight, so he ended up winning a good race today.
Well, I'm not going to ask you for the balance of your ride. Waiho has mentioned them, but all the best for the rest of the evening. And again, really nice to have your talent in the province.
Yes, thank you very much. Now, just thank Waiho, thanks to my sponsors, to Eastern CMH Eastern, and to my other sponsor, Questic Insure. I just got to thank everybody for the support.
Well played.
Thank you.
Marco van Rensburg teaming up with Waiho Mowing. And let's not forget, one of the big players in the game, Mr. Hassan Adams. Well done to you, sir, who I'm sure is watching down in the Cape. If you caught this quartet, the numbers you'll need: 1, 7, 4, and 3. Coming up next, race number 3, the start of the Pick 6. Time to dot down 19:05, 7:05. Next up, Pick 6 time.